So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we are driving the Volvo VNL630. Now, there aren't many Volvo VNL mods out there that are actually any good. So I found this one and I thought we'd take a look at it today. Now it's not just the 670, we've also got some other VNL models in there, but we're just going to be looking at the 670 today. So let's start off by going to the upgrade shop. Okay then, so here we are in the upgrade shop. So going over here, you can see, hang on. In fact, no, I was in the 630. In fact, on the dash it said 670, so that confused me. Right, we're looking at the 630 today, sorry about that. But on the dash, I'll quickly show you. Quickly jump out of here. If we start this thing up, see that? Says 670. The first bug I've spotted, yeah, that confused me. So we're in the 630 today. Now you can go with the 670 and it gives you the extra space for the sleeper, but we're just going with the 630. You can have the 780 chassis, so then you can have the full-sized high roof 780, but as I said, we're going with the 630. Now in real life the engines range from 325 to 600 horsepower using the Volvo D11 and D13 engines. I can only see the D16 engines in here. This one probably being the most realistic with the max amount of power for this truck. Now on to the gearboxes, all the way from, we've got some 6-speed in here all the way up to 18. 6-speed is probably good with the bigger power, but 12-speed 13 also pretty nice. Interior, pretty basic stuff really. Now on the exterior, you can have that thing. I'm not too sure what it does. This is bi-colour, but metallic for me all the way. Gone with this yellow sort of theme on this one, which I also use for a time lapse, and I have done around 500 miles in it so far, so quite a good knowledge on it. So the bumpers, put them on, ignore this will all be changed later on. It's an option. It worried me the first time. You can have you can have these massive bull bars on the front, which I don't really like. I just prefer the clean look of this. Now this is another bull bar. You can add that on as well. The colour one doesn't look too bad, but it does block this grille, which is super annoying. But it is nice that there are some custom bull bars in here for the truck from the author. Now these here, I don't know if you saw those, but they add in there. They just make the lights a bit wider. Makes it a little bit more aggressive in my opinion. It just makes the truck look wider as well. Where you got the thinner looking ones. Up here you can add a little sort of shield around the edge of the grille. I think it sort of spoils the sort of clean design around the grille there. That one isn't too bad. In fact, that one's probably the best in my opinion. It sort of follows the curves a bit, but I prefer it just plain. You got some mirror options on here, which are pretty nice, pretty authentic. I know they're the real design of the Volvo ones, and they're actually pretty to see. I may go for them today. Now down here, chuck the side skirts on, not big or small. If you go for the bigger ones, you get some steps and the thing around surrounding the back. They do look a lot better. Just finish it off. But if you don't go for that, you can change the colour of the tanks, well, the material. Steel or chrome, but if you are going for these side skirts, what I'd recommend is just go for the steel. You probably get better FPS that way, so it isn't reflecting as much. what else have we got? So mirrors, can't change just them. Oh, you can. You didn't notice that. What a weird spot. So you can have a chrome, outer, chrome, or plastic. Two different designs there. They do stick out an awful lot. Or you can just go for plain. Interesting. You can add a plate up there if you wish. Back here now, this is where... Oh, sorry. This changes this bit. I have a nice chrome piece there. Now down here, chuck the side skirts on. Not big or small. If you go for the bigger ones, you get some steps and a thing around surrounding the back. They do look a lot better. Just finish it off. But if you don't go for that, you can change the colour of the tanks, well, the material, steel or chrome. Now down here, chuck the side skirts on. Not big or small. If you go for the bigger ones, you get some steps and a thing around surrounding the back. They do look a lot better. Just finish it off. But if you don't go for that, you can change the colour of the tanks, well, the material, steel or chrome. But if you are going for these side skirts, what I'd recommend is just go for the steel. You probably get better FPS that way, so it isn't reflecting as much. What else have we got? So mirrors, can't change just them. Oh, you can. You didn't notice that. What a weird spot. So you can have a chrome. You can change the style of them. It's basically between those two, and then with or without the little girl at the bottom. That's the curtains. I think that's pretty much it for the outside. You had some plastic around the bottom. Probably not the best if you're going for off-roading or in quarries and stuff, but it does work quite well with this here if you're going for a black outline. Now on the interior, it starts off like this. You can add a different colour wheel. I don't really think that works very well with the rest of it, to be honest. You've got a radio, you've got some curtains. You can add a little sunshade across the top there of the windscreen. Sat nav up there. You can also have a sat nav here. Personally, I think that one works best. And then that's the mirrors, and that is pretty much it for the inside. You can change the trim as well. I do prefer the silver if you ask me. But there you go, that's the configuration for this truck. It's not too bad. It's not anything out of this world, but it isn't too bad for American Truck Sim. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Right then, so here it is all outside, and it does look really good in this sort of baby blue with the chrome. Looks superb in my opinion. One thing that I do like is that if we just get on the sort of fly mode here, you can see on the hubcaps on the rear you can add the Volvo logo, which you don't see very often, so that's a nice little touch. You can also have it on the front as well, so it matches perfectly. But that blue and the chrome, it works really nicely. You just look at that. So now I'll show you the bug. So if we just start this up, see now my left indicator is on the front, and then the right one is on the back. Same if we put the right one on, left one turns on. Bit unusual that. Other things is that when you're on the outside, just looking around, if you're just going to the free camera here, then you look in the interior, it does look super sort of basic and flat. There's no detail whatsoever, which is a bit annoying. Other things, I don't know, I think that's pretty much it. Another thing that I do like is that on the sort of bonnet or hood, you do get that little fake, or it looks fake, don't know if it does anything, that little scoop which just adds another little dimension to it, and it just makes it look a little bit more aggressive. I mean, just look at that. I think that looks really, really, really good. Now if we jump in, I'll go quickly through sort of the dash area here. So we'll start it up. Very quiet. Now you can see that I've got a half a tank of fuel. I've already done 534 miles. AdBlue is almost full. Got the turbo, put a pressure gauge there. Now interestingly, the speedometer is in kilometers an hour, but you do have in yellow miles an hour. Now, I think the reason behind that is that this mod has been transferred from Eurotruck, so there is that. But let's go through the dash, which I think is actually pretty good. So if you press I or whatever you've set it to, you get this display which looks really, really realistic, and you also get some sort of fake colour bleed on the sort of display, which is a nice little touch. Not sure if that's done on purpose, but it's there. So you've got all your temperatures on there along with the time. On here you have got sort of your average and instant miles per gallon. You got distance to empty, and you've also got AdBlue on there. Here you've got your gears. Now I am running it in automatic, I'll talk about that later. You've got your odometer on there as well. There you've got the current speed and the cruise control, and some battery status and stuff on there. So it's a nice little infotainment, well, not really infotainment system, but nice little display there. Turn the brake off, you can see that works there. Sat nav up there, that's nice. Now it does seem to shine quite a bit. Oh, we're rolling back. It does seem to shine quite a bit, the sort of trim, which is a bit annoying. And another thing, as you'll see when we get, when we start moving, if you just look at the reflections, they are absolutely annoying. And if you've got a lower spec PC, you are going to really, let's go this way, you're going to really struggle with that. I mean, it's not too bad at night, even though it is still there, but in the day when it's sort of bright sunshine, you just look at this, it is absolutely horrible. Super annoying. It's a bit of a shame, really. I don't understand why they would do it. It's not even realistic. I mean, how is that windscreen reflecting the floor like that from where I'm sat? I don't get it. But on the outside, they don't seem to reflect that much. So, yeah. Don't really get that. Put our foot down here. Changes down and it just goes. Look at that. Now another thing is that the reflections are actually quite low res. And I believe that I've got them on quite a high setting. Or high resolution in the options. And another thing is that it's not at the same FPS as the rest of the game is running, so it's really kind of jerking. It sort of ruins the experience. I mean, just look at the white lines now. It's just so annoying. In the tunnel it's worse as well. But over time you do sort of get a bit used to it. But yeah, the 600 brake horsepower really does get it moving quite quickly. Just coming up to some lights now. And stop there. So once we pick up the trailer, it's a short little journey. I'll talk about the history of the truck and the, well, not sort of history, but the facts behind it. And yeah, I'll give my review on it if I believe you should download this mod and take a look at it. Because so far, it's pretty good, apart from the reflections, which in a way do ruin it, which is a bit of a shame. Just turning left here, I believe. indicators are a bit weird, the way it sort of reflects or shines off the dash like that. I don't know where that light is coming from. It's a bit annoying and unrealistic. Come on. Let's get going. The gearbox is super quick. I mean, in automatic mode, look how quickly the sort of shifts are. Don't know if you can see that, but if we put my foot down now, super quick. Now I did go for the 6-speed, so it won't be changing all the time, which is part of the annoying thing about having the automatic in these games. But I am running 1.6, so there are some updates to the auto gearbox, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Here we are. Let's go and get this trailer. Aeroplane from the Tesla dealership. Obviously that makes a load of sense. There we go, all attached up. Let's get going. Let's pull out of here, let's watch the mirrors, which are pretty big actually. There we go. So the current VNL range starts with the 300 and goes all the way up to the 780. Now the 300 is more of a short haul truck. It's not really for these long distances what we do in this truck now. He then got the 430, the 630, which what we're driving now. You've got the 670, which is sort of their best seller according to the website, and then you've got the 730 and then the 780, which is the sort of ultimate high roof truck. Right, can we get past these people, or they're just going to pull out? That was a bit dodgy there. It's got, and yeah, those were the D11 and D13 Volvo engines. This one's got the D16, apparently, according to the options. Right, hopefully we can get going soon. That light's just changed. Yeah, there we go. Let's get out and fool this truck. Got the power to do it. The way this thing gets going. That went all the way up to 2,500 RPM, well within the red zone there. I don't know if you saw that. That was cool. The way it just changes down, it's instant. This is the quickest automatic I think I've used in the game. I mean, we got the speed there. One annoying thing that I have found with this is that if you in manual, you'd want this one on to see what gear you're in. Obviously in automatic you don't really need to know that. Manual, you have to keep switching between them to see your speed, because it's kind of hard to tell with the rev counter being in kilometers an hour, and then you also want to see cruise control and stuff like that, so that's a bit annoying, but I'm sure you can change that around. It's got a 12-speed Volvo I-Shift gearbox in real life. Obviously we've got the 6-speed here with the retarder, which does show up there. I've sort of touched, and it's also got a little stalk on the end. I believe that's the Hoover down. Just cross past. And then this gearbox, well, the 12-speed in real life has got, it's sort of an intelligent gearbox, so it's constantly monitoring the grade that the truck is on, how steep the slope is, the speed, the weight of the trailer, and how much load is on the engine, so it can choose the best time to change up and down, which I thought was kind of cool. And it sort of, I'm trying to read my notes and drive, it's kind of difficult, and it sort of changes when it's the most fuel efficient, rather than sort of more power, really, because trucks aren't really about that. And that brings me on to the automatic gearbox updates to the game. Now when you select real automatic, you can also choose if you'd like high power mode, normal power mode, or eco mode basically. Now I'm running on the eco mode, And as you can see, it's perfectly fine, it's perfectly good enough, and I think it is probably the best mode. You don't really need the high power mode, only if you're constantly taking heavyweight or heavy traders basically, which in this game you don't massively do that. I mean, this is plenty quick enough in eco mode, and it also keeps the revs lower, so when you're cruising on the sort of highway and stuff, it's a lot quieter, which is obviously a lot better. But the responsiveness and the fact that it doesn't have to keep changing in the 6-speed layout is really rather good. So this is probably the best sort of transmission and engine combination that I've found so far in this game. The 600 with the 6-speed retarder automatic, it just works really nicely. I mean, you can go for the manual, but I think the auto works really well in this. So much easier. However, a thing that I don't like about this is the driving position. You have this massive sort of pillar there, and you also feel, well, I feel anyway, I feel off-centered. I feel like I'm that was telling me I need to go for the way station. In fact, no. Why has it got a green light? Does that mean I don't have to go by? I guess so. Yeah, I think that's what it means. That was kind of unusual. I've never heard that before. I guess that's part of the update. But get it to change it down a bit. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel off-centered, like I'm driving like this, and I just don't like it. I mean, it also makes the cabin then feel really wide, which I don't like. Overall, it just feels really weird. I can't see front right very well where I'm sitting. I actually can't see that mirror. I mean, look at that. It's a bit pointless, really. I don't know, I just don't like the driving position. I feel like I'm in the door pocket or something. But other than that, it's a very good mod. It does, as you saw with the Volvo dealership in Las Vegas, which is a nice little touch. And also, if you are using the wheel, using the 900 degrees of rotation, the wheel in game isn't actually 1-to-1. It's got a lot more sort of turning ratio, which, as you can see, you don't have to turn the wheel much, and it turns loads in game. I really recommend you giving this mod a go. It's probably the best Volvo mod that I've came across so far, and it does look pretty good. I mean, just look at that. And especially with this engine and gearbox config, it works so good. I mean, with the eco mode, it changes down earlier. Well, it did. It does change down earlier. But if you go for the high power mode gearboxes, it will keep the revs higher, obviously. Yeah, it's a very nice truck. I mean, this engine, the Volvo engines, do sound pretty nice. You can go for the Cat engines or the other engines in there, which do have a lot more turbo whine, which I do find annoying personally. Let's move forward slightly. But yeah, this one is super. It's very, I don't know, it's well balanced. It's not too loud, it's not too quiet. I mean, if you put your foot down, you can definitely hear the engine working. And even in eco mode, look, completely holds the revs, and it's just so quick. It's epic. I really do recommend you give this 6-speed automatic a go. Super nice. Right, can we get in front of this guy? Yep. Looks like we're parking up in here. There we go. Where did I want it? In the corner. Of course they do. See what this thing is like to reverse. Obviously I've got it in automatic, so I'm not messing around with the clutch. I'm just going to make it a bit easier. Wow, it's quite easy to reverse actually. Super quick to respond. There we go. Easy. So thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please do click the like and want to subscribe for a lot more. Yeah, it's a great truck. As I said, recommend you giving it a go. But anyway, thank you for watching if you got this far, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.